Woke is finally taking its toll on Disney and Marvel and Star Wars. It is getting there. Oh, it's so glorious to watch. The Schadenfreude, my friends. I'm having so much fun this morning watching as it's burning down. It's slowly burning down, but it is burning down nonetheless. We know that stock prices have absolutely tanked for Disney over the last year or so. They seem to be able to do nothing right. We know that the Marvels failed drastically in terms of financial gain, which is all that really matters for these companies at the end of the day. And there's other films that have done even worse as Disney has just chugged along with its DEI, trying to fight average Americans in their crazy woke war on you. Now, this is just the beginning. You see the headline already here about the 15 Marvel employees being laid off. There's more. I have a lot that's going on as the Disney ship is sinking. And this is kind of wild to watch in real time. Now, the question mark is, are they actually going to do anything about it now that Bob Iger has gotten rid of his rival in the board and attempted and actually just got himself right back to where he was at, and says that, we're going to be making some changes and making some cuts. Is he actually going to follow through with things? The thing about Disney and of all these companies is you really won't see the results of any of this for 2-3 years. It takes this long to make film and manipulate things on that level. What I think is going to happen is that they're going to dial back a lot of the overt DEI stuff, and they're going to try to just be subtle about it, and they're going to try to not use it in their marketing as much. I've seen this in a couple different things, not just from Disney, but from other companies. If you look at Netflix's One Piece as an example about this, it was a big diversity fest, and it had a full-on tranny like in the main character role, and everybody on the sort of culture war side applauded that as like good woke instead of bad woke. And there is no good woke. There's only bad woke. It is a cancer to our culture. Just because they put some window dressing on it that looks okay doesn't make it okay. And they will have the same results. Again, people just don't want this at the end of the day. And everybody who is kind of just acquiescing to that is just really trying really, really hard to consume. And, that is something that we oppose over here. So if you're new to the channel, we're actually fighting the culture war, and we're unabashed about it. I don't do that thing where I go, well, just don't replace Green Lantern with a gay character. Make a new gay character. I don't do that here. I don't equivocate because that equivocation is what got us in this mess to begin with. That's how the culture moves. That's how the Overton window moves because we just equivocate and agree that like some of this wokeness is okay. None of it's okay. We need to stand much firmer at this point. And I think a bunch of people are fed up with this, and it's going to happen. But I'm the editor-in-chief of Fandom Pulse right here, which is the website that you're looking at. And we do the news. We report on the news. I also create my own comics without the wokeness in it. And I do so on my Subscribestar. Subscribestar is like a Patreon. I got banned from Patreon, of course, for some alleged hate speech because they just don't like what I say. Again, nothing on that would have triggered that. It was just totally them knowing who I am and watching my platform to ban me. And this helps us keep the lights on at Fandom Pulse, helps us keep doing what we're doing. Please become a member here and help us grow. We've been at our best level yet, and I love watching this slowly grow to the point where I know it's going to get to the sustainable point over time to where we can really just have our own parallel economy here, and that's what we're trying to do. So check that out. I've also got books in my bookstore, which is in the description below, and I appreciate you being there. So Marvel fired 15 different employees, and so I got a lot of comments on this already this morning saying, why isn't it 15,000? If you look at the Marvel Studios and Marvel Entertainment, there's not that many like direct employees who are just there full time. A lot of these people are contract labor for specific projects and things like that. So when you see this, it is a shakeup that it is impacting the studio and actually doing something at this point. Now we know that IDW Publishing has laid off 40% of its staff in the last year. That's the group that owns the licensing for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Sonic and Star Trek for comic books, and that seemed to be like a bellwether where I expected changes to be happening at DC and Marvel also. Now, there's been a couple firings over the last year, but nothing substantive. But for Marvel Entertainment and Marvel Studios, this is now happening. And so I could see this trickling to the comic side at some point pretty shortly. Well, Bob Iger said on his board meeting, he says, "You've got to kill things you no longer believe in." Really interesting there. And that's not easy in this business because either you've gotten started, you have some sunk cost, or it's a relationship with either your employees or the creative community. He also said, "We've reduced output, particularly at Marvel." Interesting. When you fix and you address these issues in the movies, you do three things. You get aggressive at making sure the films you're making can be even better. Sometimes you kill projects you don't believe in. And of course, you put new things in the pipeline that you do believe in and have much more confidence in. We're doing all of that. So after those comments, he's laid off 15 people at Marvel Studios and Marvel Entertainment. They're making cuts. We've seen their programming has been declining over the last couple of years, not just in quality, but in the amount that they're producing as well. If you look at Disney Plus, I mean, they have really pushed back a lot of different content that they used to have for these shows and these programs, and they've been delaying them or saying they're coming out later. There's rumors that some of them are getting canceled, like Shang-Chi. It's looking pretty dismal over at Disney. But there's more to it than just this, too. This is an article from Jack Dunn at our site here, as you see. Lucasfilm and Disney has been a $2.8 billion loss since the purchase of Star Wars from George Lucas. That's absolutely crazy. So the initial investment was $4 billion, and there is a $2.8 billion gap between box office earnings and the $4 billion investment. This acquisition came in 2012, and they started making these movies. Well, these movies have such high budgets that even though they look like they're posting big numbers a lot of the time, it's actually been losing money this whole time, and they have not recouped that investment in 10 plus years. That's pretty crazy to look at on this sort of level, because if Disney's losing that kind of money, you could see why their stock values are really, really down. And the streaming's not been going well whatsoever. Disney has been losing viewers across Ahsoka, across all the different iterations of their woke Star Wars so far. It's kind of the same thing. So I expect that these 15 employees that just got sacked at Marvel, which they say is just all that's going on right now, is going to be trickling into the rest of Disney very, very soon. I feel like Bob Iger doesn't have the gumption to go full Zaslav and just slash everything right away, but I think we're going to see a trickle over the course of the year so that it doesn't really hit the headlines quite as much as it would as if he was doing some big slash like this. That's my prediction at the moment. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.